We're here to talk about what items that were involved in these sexual trafficking charges. And unless the prosecutor alleges that there were baby oil used, we shouldn't even be talking about it. Like, sidestep the fucking question, my guy. God damn it. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. We went over the lawsuit pretty much by this new woman. Where the hell is my thingy? Give me a second. Where's my list? I had a whole list of shit. Okay. Oh, well, now everybody's saying that Justin Bieber was a victim. So that's what everybody's been saying. Bieber was a victim.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Pop superstar Justin Bieber was once mentored by Sean Diddy Combs. Now, after Combs' arrest on federal sex trafficking charges, old videos are raising questions about Combs' interactions with Bieber. I take a closer look at their relationship through the years. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. For the last several days, social media has been full of videos of Sean Combs. You can't click on TikTok or X,
All right, let's get to
given that at least part of what Cassie Ventura claimed was...
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this.
Wasn't this a skit chat or am I tweaking?
Right here? Yeah, this gonna be yours. So, every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, come get the front shot of this.
Man.
And then out. Minute.
Woo. Okay.
We want to say I'm grabbing some
All
water.
right, so I'm going to be driving this next year.
Now, that video has been viewed more than 5 million times on Justin Bieber's YouTube channel. He was 15 at the time, and he was staying with Combs for 48 hours.
You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know, he did his first album. I did Usher's first album.
Justin Bieber is now a pop megastar. He's loved by fans.
Hey, chat, do you think it's unfair that y'all bullied Meek Mill into at least somewhat kinda addressing Diddy, but nobody's bullying Usher? I mean, in the midst of the Diddy stuff, Usher even went to Bali. I ain't gonna lie, this was flagrant. Like, this is wild. Usher, like, he went to go hang out with this nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of wild, right? So he didn't give two fucks. So don't you think it's kind of interesting that nobody's like is pressuring Usher to speak on these things? Where just everybody's just on Meek Mill's head?
Start in the business through Sean Combs. He lived with him for a year when he was 13. And Usher talked about his time living with Combs on the Howard Stern show back in 2016. He was sent to what was called Puffy Flavor Camp.
And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I want to tell you about a great free app. It's called Upside, and it will give you counts given what we know now.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about.
Now, let's be clear. This could have all just been a joke. But in 2020, Justin Bieber gave a tearful interview to Apple Music in which he talked about wanting to protect Billie Eilish from the music industry and the things that he had been through. There are other...
Yeah, I heard about that video. Usher... Justin Bieber Billie Eilish. It was crying, supposedly. What was that about?
Which have led
that I'm run down, and she can let me know when I'm like, all right, you're looking depleted right now. And
it's clear
of everybody telling me just how to navigate being married. I'm freaking married now, and I got the best wife in the world. She supports me through so much. I'm really honored to be her husband. And I just
really, you've made a whole album about it.
Yeah, it's this is an album I wrote in the first year of our marriage. So it's like there's so much more to learn about commitment and building trust and foundation. I'm looking forward to continuing to build and make music that's going to reflect that.
That's what's great about Changes. It's a honeymoon record.
Yeah, exactly.
So when did you know you wanted to get in the studio and feel inspired?
I think when I went on stage with Ariana Grande, it gave me kind of like a boost of confidence. Oh, this is what I do. This is what I'm good at, and I don't need to run away from it. I was like, I was running away.
It was a great moment when you came face to face with Billie Eilish,
right,
who, in her own way, dealing with this very, very public explosion of success and of attention.
It was so quick. Yeah, and she's crazy. She's a superstar.
What was going through your mind when you saw that kind of reaction?
I wanted to protect the moment. I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to get. We never know how many opportunities we're going to get with anybody. I mean, I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, I just wanted to be a good example. And it was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important the story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching for some kind of truth that can help.
I commend you for going there and asking the tough questions and the things that people don't want to talk about, and they don't want to go there because it's revealing, and I want people to take a look at my story, and hopefully my words can make a difference.
You chose to make an album really hyper.
Yeah, there is if you listen to this in context, it sounds like at first he's talking about possibly death and like how uncertain life is, and maybe taking things for granted, because he mentions Kobe. But then he also talks about people turning their back on him, and he talked about when, this industry, people turn their back on you. But then it gets into a little bit of saying, I just don't want you to go through what I went through. And it almost feels like there's some dark there that he doesn't really touch on, but his body language is really telling. Like he starts to have this like tearful, but he's also looking down the whole time, which makes you feel like there's some shame. And body language matters a lot. Like he's looking down the entire time. It feels like he's almost recounting something shameful.
I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important the story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching.
And it was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Damn, him saying I don't wish that on anyone. Looking at it, there's some dark about it. I do think Justin Bieber has seen some shit. I think he's seen some shit. I think Chris Brown has seen some shit. These are people who came in the game 14, 15. They're like children. They're kind of wide-eyed. and then they're around this industry, and it's almost like, I don't know if it happened necessarily with Chris Brown. I know Chris Brown's mom was there a lot, but these older figures in the industry start to kind of put them on the path of becoming veterans, but kind of almost letting them know, like, yo, this is what's going on, and this is what you have to accept. And maybe you don't realize it's like crazy until later on, but yeah, something's definitely with this interview.
Hey, do you realize how important your story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching for some kind of truth that can help.
I commend you for going there and asking the tough questions and the things that people don't want to talk about, and they don't want to go there because it's revealing, and I want people to take a look at my story, and hopefully my words can make a difference.
You chose to make an album really hyper-focused, as we said before, on the honeymoon phase of your marriage. And you opened the doors to
Okay.
really keen collaborate at some point in the future. And that picks up where...
Yeah, this whole interview, I think there's times he's answering the questions, he's not looking at him.
I don't know if I'd be alive for sure. It was dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life. Or when we were hanging a lot, I said, listen, I'm still really hurt. You know, I'm not in a place to...
I've found, a really important bond, and this marriage has been a hugely important development in your life.
It's been a big reason of why I'm coming back and I'm successful at this. I mean, she giving me substance to talk about. She's the person that I'm learning to love unconditionally, start a family with. So
how did you kind of know?
I'd let her know prior to the tour when we were hanging a lot. I said, listen, I'm still really hurt. You know, I'm not in a place to, be faithful and all this sort of stuff that I wanted to be, but I just wasn't there yet. I took the time to really build myself. I really took a deep dive in my faith.
Those tough years is, in a way, you were punishing yourself because you didn't have the answers, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that I was just, living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff in my past, and I wasn't able to move on.
Do you think the person that either you of then was on a path of self-destruction?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive for sure. It was dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life that have played a huge part in me seeing their relationship with Jesus and their relationship with their wives and their relationship with their kids and saying that's what I want. But I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully learn from it.
Well, for me, music comes from somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, there's something up with that, man.
Videos of Bieber and Combs that have circulated online.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you
doing? Young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Again, does this video mean anything? It could just be a teenage kid caught in an awkward moment. In 2015, Combs presented Bieber with an American Music Award for Best Collaboration. And there's another video showing a birthday celebration. It shows an exchange on one of Bieber's birthdays. And finally, the fourth video making the rounds was recorded 3 years ago.
Why do people say he was patting him down like he's for a wire? Is that true?
And finally, the fourth video making the rounds was recorded 3 years ago. Let's play that again. Some speculated that Combs was looking to see whether Bieber was wearing a wire when he patted him down. It seemed a little awkward for sure. Around this time last year, Combs and Bieber collaborated on the song Moments for Diddy's The Love album, Off the Grid. This was, of course, before the first allegations made by Cassie Ventura surfaced. Combs settled the suit with her in a day, and then the federal raid happened in March of this year. So far, Justin Bieber, like many people who know Combs, has been silent. There may be a good reason for that. He just became a father for the first time. A source close to Bieber told People he's aware of Diddy's arrest and the allegations, but added, it's not anything that he wants to focus on, though. The insider, likely Bieber's publicist, continued, saying Bieber's been in a happy bubble since baby Jack was born, and he just wants to focus on being a great dad and husband.
I wonder where Usher stands on this. I do kind of wonder where even Justin Bieber stands on this too. Does it sound like these niggas still fuck with Diddy, or they're like, yo, oh, finally they got this predator?
That is also completely understandable. Justin Bieber's a first-time father. He should want to enjoy this time and cherish every moment of it. But that hasn't stopped the chatter. This TikTok video from Bieber's father-in-law, actor Stephen Baldwin, has just added to the speculation about Diddy and Bieber.
You have heard the expression, the calm before the storm. There is always a calm before the storm, but then so is there another calm after the storm. There's a calm and then a storm and then another calm.
So you get the gist. And no one knows whether Stephen Baldwin was actually referring to the Sean Combs situation or his son-in-law, Justin Bieber, but that video certainly has had people on X wondering. I want to bring in Mitra Ahorian. She is an entertainment attorney in Los Angeles. So Mitra, what are people saying out there on the street? What's the chatter in Hollywood about Sean Combs' arrest?
I think the chatter is some of what we're already hearing in the news, except that there are actual people who were at these parties who have interacted with him. Puffy was one of the, and is, we can say is, one of the most influential artists and producers in the hip hop world. We all grew up listening to his music.
Tale, but
all right. Interestingly enough, that's the angle that I don't think Bieber is gonna speak on. I think something happened there, man. I don't know if they got fucked themselves by Diddy, and that sounds crazy, but I think if you ask me, I believe that Diddy sexualized these young boys at a very early age, basically because his lifestyle was primarily based around sex. And when they came into his orbit, he probably told him like, hey, this is how it has to be, right? This is the industry. Also, there probably was some weird stuff. I don't know if it's necessarily him fucking them, but probably put them in some positions, no Diddy, that were uncomfortable. But that's me still being a little bit tame in thinking about what he could have done then. Something clearly happened. Something clearly happened, though. By the way, Suge Knight spoke on the freak off in the federal charges that Diddy caught on the Chris Cuomo show. Let's watch that.
About what you think and feel about Sean Diddy Combs and any allegations against him, given your history of animosity with him.
Well, first of all, I'm not calling you and nobody else to get nobody to believe anything regarding him. Like I said, I always say, me personally, I don't jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison or any other man, any other human being going to prison. Because people think prison is always the answer. I'm not saying a lot of people don't deserve to do their time and see what's going on. But at the same time, that's not no cheerful thing, because when you look at it, that man have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever affects him definitely affects his kids. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of victims involved in it, and whatever affects them affects their kids. So it's not a good thing to be talking about any shit about the next person. But it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, Puffy didn't react or get where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. Only true part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done. But for being happy and proud and say, what do people think? That's irrelevant.
So, Suge.
It's just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ. I got love for Harvey, but I see Charles always got something negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? Yeah, I'm in prison. I guarantee you I'm free more than Charles. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms unless it be something positive. If it ain't positive.
I understand what you're saying. I want you to try to make some positive points here. I get what you're saying about TMZ, but that's not really my interest, as you might imagine. My interest is in what you can help people understand about these allegations that Diddy is facing and what you believe he's facing on the inside. Now, what's most interesting to me is that you seem to see Diddy as kind of an Epstein kind of figure, that Jeffrey Epstein, that a lot of people know what Diddy was about, and they were about the same thing, and that's why they're quiet. That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Well, first of all, you got to start with the top. You starting with the top. Clive Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, it went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy. Let's think about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on, Suge. Help us understand, because a lot of this stuff is a little inside baseball for people, right? Because they don't live the life, they don't know the world, they don't know the players.
Your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording from the prison that's just saying that they record it, which obviously they do. Suge, help people understand, what tapes are you talking about? Who has them? And what kinds of things do you think they show?
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I wasn't no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'll go back there and they'll be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They used to take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
but
Suge.
if you just look. Suge, all you got to do is
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it. But if you haven't been in those butt-naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those.
Yo, Chad, did I just miss something? What the fuck is he talking about?
Phone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording for you.
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I want no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'd go back there and they'd be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood.
Yo,
so
stop
everybody
it.
want to go.
Yo, stop it. Yo, stop it. Wait, they put a boiled egg up somebody's ass? And I guess, like, what? And if the egg break, that means you're not ready, which means your booty's too tight. You ain't get enough dick. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, no fucking way.
Act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
but
Suge.
you just look. That's all you got to do.
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any puppy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it. But if you haven't been in those butt naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something. But I wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry, not for the people who don't get in. So everybody, you got to look at it like this. You see a beautiful woman or you see a handsome man, and it was like that all their life. From elementary school to junior high school to high school, if they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves. If you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth sticks and lipsticks and nose sticks, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young people with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is, but that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
I'm talking about richer people. I'm talking about the difference. I'm talking about, okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay, and I agree with that, but I wonder if, what do y'all think, Chad? I think a lot of people aren't defending Diddy because, put it like this, let's say you've been to a Diddy party, or let's say you and Diddy, I don't know, had a consensual, non-drugged, I don't know, freaky little foursome. You had sex with one girl, he had sex with one girl. He didn't fuck you, or just whatever little they have. Would you speak up? Like, you wouldn't speak up, right? Because there's too many allegations against him, number one, right? There's too many other people. And there's probably actually maybe in the mix of all the people who are accusing an actual victim. So when you speak up, it's like you could vouch for maybe your experience, right? Your experience with him, but you can't vouch for, and by the way, nobody wants to hear your experience, right? Because if your experience don't got nothing to do with any of the allegations, shut the fuck up. So maybe that's why people aren't speaking up. Or maybe people are like, nah, this nigga guilty. I don't know. You guys can be the judge.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Hey, I'd like to say this too real quick. You got a woman that works for you is really incredible. You don't find too many people.
I thought you were about to implicate her in the investigation. I'm just glad you're not implicating Dusty in the investigation, Suge, because I can't take that.
She's not in the investigation.
All right,
but what I want to do for her is, I want to. Hey, look, I got to do this for her, but I want to turn her on to this clothing line called Girls Mondays to Sunday. Girl Monday to Sunday, and I'm definitely gonna look out for it because I buy a lot of shit for a lot of people from that place. But look. What I was basically trying to say is this: I respect your show and respect what you're doing, but most important thing is there's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole bunch of years, for decades, and at the same time, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience. Suge, you said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about abusive situations, hurt people, that someone was sexually abused, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was sexually abused and he now sexually abuses?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he repeat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. Clive Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got.
Yo, Acho Buzz says, I know. He said, I know Suge Knight was proud that the egg didn't fit in his butt. Yo, well, that's what they should have asked. Yo, whose ass didn't fit it?
The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. But I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling and dead for the truth to come out.
Do you believe
I think
that
the truth needs to be...
Do you believe that Diddy is in danger in prison? And do you have advice for him based on what you just said?
Well, the first advice I have, I don't ever want to say he's in danger, and neither should he say that. Because once he gets to the point where they feel he's going to be suicidal to himself, harmful to himself, once they put him on suicide watch, you have the rights to nothing. No socks, no drawers, no T-shirt, no blanket, no sheets. You asshole naked in a cell as a crazy man. So he definitely don't want to do that. And the other advice I would tell him, maybe he should get on the Jewish diet. Because the kosher meals is way better than the food somebody else is making for you. At least they're going to come hot. They're going to come sealed, and you got to be the one to open them. That's very important.
What about people trying to hurt him?
Go to jail. I mean, one of the things is this. I don't care who you are. Prison and jail is a negative environment. If somebody can do something to them and get a name for themselves, they're going to actually do it. Or they can do whatever they feel they got to do to prove themselves. But we also got to learn. We got to learn from our mistakes. Everything don't have to be a mistake. You got to better yourself. But we all know what we sign up for in life. So if I sign up to be a football player, I knew I'm going to get hit and I'm going to hurt some motherfuckers too. If I signed up to be in the music business and the entertainment business, if you fight for right and being a black man, There's certain things you got to look at for the challenges. If they can't take the money from you, they take you from the money by putting you in prison. That's a fact. In Puffy's situation, he should go and get his time out the way. Not no life sentence. If he can get a lesser time, he should jump on it because he had a great run. I'm in prison right now. I had a great run. So I don't go to sleep mad. I don't wake up mad. I've been locked up for 10 years, and I ain't had a bad day yet.
Damn.
And it's a lot of things we can do to help each other, and it's never too late for help. God bless us to have a voice. Let's use our voice. I had told Puffy a while back. I told TD Jakes a while back. Shit, come on, collect calls. We can politic. Because one thing for certain, one thing for sure, you're just not going to walk away with one scratch on it.
Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality, to time, versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time, and we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy, so he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he's been involved with the FBI for most of his career. It's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
Suge.
And they've been having the power of the, yes.
I appreciate your perspective on this.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We've heard Clive Davis name a lot, right? Well, I think we watched a video on this before. You know what I did look up and I saw? Ironically, when he named the executives, he named also Jimmy Iovine. And I forgot that Jimmy Iovine was actually sued. So Jimmy got sued, but he settled his shit immediately. Yeah, his shit went under the radar. Yeah, and the person dropped the suit. Now, this was done really professionally, right? This was done really professionally. Number one, it was done by the same lawsuit as Cassie. So it was done by, I believe, what's the name of the lawsuit? Doug something. Yeah, right here. Here's a lawsuit. Yeah, this was a notice of this continuance. Yeah, Wigdor. Yeah, this Wigdor law firm. I think that was the same one as Cassie, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Douglas Wigdor. Yeah. Yeah, the matter was resolved. Yeah, so he learned from Diddy. He said, fuck that. He said, shorty, just take this bread and get the fuck on out of here. Which kind of works in his case because the woman's a Jane Doe. So we don't know who the woman is. Also, he's not as famous as Diddy. You know? But he kind of got out of here with it. He's the guy who ran Interscope for a long time. Then when the Beats by Dre deal happened, he went over to Apple. Then he left Apple. But he got up on out of there, man. I haven't seen no lawsuits that mentioned Clive Davis, though. Clive Davis, Diddy. Diddy reveals how what the fuck? We keep hearing that if Diddy could offer up this guy, he could save himself.
You know, began to make its way out there was you were talking about your personal life, your kind of discovery of yourself and your bisexuality, and that was something that you had never discussed publicly before, and it was an important part of
this guy's bisexual
book, and it made a big impact. I wonder if you could say a little bit about, we've heard so many stories just here tonight.
Not this guy, but like Clive Davis is bisexual. You're going to see him in a second.
The book very easily could just have been exclusively devoted to music and really had nothing about your personal life in it. Well, what was it that made you feel that it was important, to share elements of your background from Brooklyn right up into
evening? It became relevant to point out that other than you, Anthony, with whom I collaborated with and for this book from the very beginning, the publisher knew nothing about this. This was not in the treatment. This was not in the presentation.
It was very specifically not in the proposal to sell the book.
It was not in the proposal. So that nobody who bid on this book.
The editor of the book had no idea that it would be in there.
No, this was not trying to get...
All right, let me just speed this up. Sorry, Jim.
My focus right now is Sean Combs because he's a trafficker. Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, Clive Davis.
Rumor has it, allegedly, Diddy got on his knees for Clive Davis in 1994.
He got a boss too, and his boss name is Clive Davis. Clive run him. Diddy don't run himself.
Some people question how Diddy became so evil. Well, it turns out he's just like his mentor, Clive Davis. This creepy man taught Diddy everything he knows, how to use people, take advantage of their body, and dispose of them when they aren't worth any more money. Clive Davis is a sick man, and we are exposing him in this video. So let's...
Bruv, we back this up, pause. What the fuck?
But he got a boss.
Producer Clive Davis has been caught up in quite the mix. While it started out as just rumors, the cat's finally out of the bag about how Clive has dated Diddy for over...
My buffering?
For 5 years. Diddy is widely recognized as one of the most accomplished record producers and label owners in the music industry, having established Bad Boy Records, which has been home to high-profile artists such as the notorious Big and Usher. However, there is a curious question about how his company achieved such rapid success. The musician Jaguar Wright is discussing Diddy's influence on the music industry and his considerable wealth.
Puff be moving niggas around, But he got that catalog. He got that catalog, and he's been making money off of it, and it bought that big old mansion down the street from Rape Central.
What was the path that led a 23-year-old rising star to the pinnacle of the music industry in such a short period? Perhaps the answer lies in his close association with a heavyweight figure, Clive Davis. Although Clive Davis has gained fame for his music productions, he is currently the subject of discussions regarding his romantic pursuits. Following 2 marriages and subsequent divorces, Clive embarked on a journey of self-exploration to determine if he could be attracted to men as well.
I opened up myself after the failure of my second marriage, never having had anything with a man, to see, could I be attracted to the person and not the gender?
As a result of this introspection, Clive came to the realization that his sexual orientation was not entirely heterosexual, contrary to what he had believed for the first 50 years of his life.
And I did find that I could be attracted to a man, while I still am very attracted to a woman.
Following this revelation, Clive made the decision to pursue a relationship with a man, feeling that this was the appropriate time in his life to do so.
Then, in 1990, he entered into a monogamous relationship with an unnamed male doctor. That relationship ended in 2004.
Clive says he has never been ashamed to admit his attraction to men. I never felt shame. No, I felt puzzled. The subject of bisexuality really needs much more discussion. It's a status that does exist. Subsequently, Clive entered into a committed relationship with another man, which continues to this day. After years of confusion, it has now been confirmed that the identity of Clive's partner is none other than Diddy.
P. Diddy, known as Puff Daddy, known as Sean Combs. Allegedly in 1994, Sean Combs requested doing sexual favors for Clive Davis so that Bad Boy Records could be what it is.
Rumors surrounding the circumstances of Diddy's music career have persisted for years. However, it is now evident that the two were romantically involved for a period of 5 years. While Clive has acknowledged that his partner accompanies him to events and travels with him, he has declined to disclose his name. Nevertheless, it has become increasingly apparent that Diddy is the artist most frequently seen by Clive's side at events. Merely attending the same events may not be definitive proof, but the fact that both Clive and Diddy are openly gay and frequently seen together at social gatherings strongly suggests that there is a significant connection between them. The close bond between Diddy and Clive has been well established over the—
Yo, I'm still wondering why we ain't hear about Diddy fucking none of these dudes here, bro. Like, there's not one credible thing about Diddy fucking a guy. But and again, it's been a long rumor that he is bisexual, but we're not hearing the actual allegation.
years. During this time, Clive has been in a committed relationship with a man, while Diddy has faced accusations of being closeted. Given these circumstances, the possibility of a romantic connection between the two is quite plausible. Furthermore, Clive has been open about his sexuality and relationships, yet he has never denied these rumors, further strengthening their validity. Diddy has remained silent on the matter as well. Diddy crossed paths with Clive when he was a 23-year-old aspiring artist looking to break into the cutthroat music industry. However, his hip-hop concepts managed to impress the legendary Clive, who was searching for a performer who could truly connect with the public. Clive has spoken about their initial encounter, stating that he found precisely what he was seeking in Diddy. Puffy was 23 years old and I knew the artists that I had, Aretha, Dion, Whitney, was one kind of music. Davis says, Leatface ushered in blue-collared R&B at its height. But, sensing the hip-hop revolution, both Leigh and I agreed that we could use someone really attuned to the street. You gotta know what you can do for yourself, and you gotta know when you need to look to other people. During that period, Diddy was employed under Andre Hall at Uptown Records. However, meeting Clive Davis proved to be a pivotal moment in his career as he was able to make a lasting impression on the music mogul with his words, as Clive himself recounts. When I met with Puffy, he articulated that hip-hop should be part of the top 40 mainstream, and that the business would change in the future. And I said, what have you got to illustrate that point? And he played me
Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business
facility, and I'm going to do everything that I can to move his case as quickly as possible.
Now, Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, acknowledged that there will be a lot of electronic evidence that he will have to go through.
I understand that the government has a great amount of electronic devices that they have to download and provide to me, but everything's on the government's timetable, nothing's on the defendant's timetable, and they're going to have to accommodate me and him and give us a quick trial, and I'm going to be pushing for that. His resolve is the same. He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to.
The participants
in the sex acts.
Do you see the feds going through those videos and identifying the people, her, and saying, look,
turn in a very different direction. But even if he did, I can't imagine any scenario where Diddy gets off with little to no time because of the just egregious nature of these charges. I mean, we've all seen the video of Diddy beating the different ways Diddy controlled the participants or the victims in these.
I feel like we're talking Clive Davis into existence. Like it's like a reach. And I clearly know some people will say, well, some of the reach is about Diddy's behavior led to this indictment, which clearly there's some substantive proof here. But I think everyone wants to believe that, he has this mountain of evidence on, these other guys. And I also want to think, I thought about this when I was off stream. I said, the questions that no one's asking is that the videotapes that they recovered, or if Diddy was keeping videotapes that was possibly used as blackmail, those people on those videotapes had to be identified. And they had to be approached, probably. And maybe if some of them were co-conspirators or complicit, say people more powerful, for those people not to be named, they would have to essentially almost do a proffer with the government to flip on Diddy. You get what I'm saying? It's like they're not going to see Clive Davis or some other people on tape doing some of the same stuff that they're accusing Diddy of doing and not charge them. So it's like either it's just a bunch of victims on the tape, but if he has tapes that are incriminating that could, showcase other people more powerful doing crimes, that would be any of the sort of what we think that he's being accused of, those people are either going to have to show up in court and testify against him, right? Or or those people are going to be eventually charged. And here's the thing too. If I'm Diddy's lawyers, whenever I get the discovery, I would then make that a point. Hey, y'all are charging him for these sexual acts. Well, why is Clive Davis not charged? I'm making this up. Like, why is Clive Davis not charged if he's in this video that you're using as evidence? He's involved in the act. So I think that goes both ways, right? So it's like, we're going to have to ask the questions about if everyone believes, because this is the conspiracy theory, that Diddy has all these tapes on powerful people that he might use to embarrass him, or he might use to get himself out of trouble, and they really raided the house to get the tapes to protect these guys. Is like, well, Diddy's lawyer is going to make a point. Why them niggas not charged? Remember, hey, listen, the ship's coming down. You got to take everybody with you, right? Yo, they on the tapes with me too. Why they not charged? So that's one. And the prosecutor is probably going to be like, yo, these guys going to have to testify against you, or we're definitely charging them, even if they're just on one tape. So, I don't know.
Sex acts. And obviously, one way could be blackmail or extortion by having the videos, but the other could be just brute force, violence, and intimidation. I think that's what the AR-15s were there for.
Do you expect more to come out of this? Damian Williams said, we're not done. This is ongoing. And I think a lot of people maybe expected more out of the indictment than the 3 counts. I mean, they're incredibly serious, but we're talking about one victim in this indictment. We're talking about a RICO charge, and then the transportation to engage in prostitution charge. So do you expect a superseding indictment with more charges against Sean Combs? And
now I see Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace was talking about this shit. I remember everybody used to be watching Nancy Grace.
Breaking news tonight. Diddy boo-hoo.
What the fuck?
Sean Puffy Combs behind bars. What is his life like? This as Diddy whines, trying to get transferred to another, more cushy jail. This as charges seemingly mount. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us.
Bail denied a second time for disgraced rapper Sean Puffy Combs after his shocking arrest in a luxury Manhattan hotel.
What are we learning about Diddy, Sean Combs' life behind bars? Listen.
While initial reports said Sean Combs is housed in the special housing unit at the Metropolitan Detention Center, we now know the music mogul is on suicide watch. Guards check on Combs on the hour every hour to ensure the rapper has made no attempts to harm himself. The extra monitoring is reportedly a standard practice at the jail for new, high-profile inmates and not the result of Combs' psychological exam at intake. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo claims his client is strong, healthy, confident, and focused on his defense after spending 6 hours with Combs at MDC after bail is denied.
So let me understand what's happening. Is it true that Sean Combs, aka Diddy, has been placed in a suicide watch ward when he is not really suicidal? Joining me in All-Star panel to make sense of what we're hearing right now, and joining me on the scene, CrimeOnline.com investigative reporter Angelica Martinez. Angelica, thank you for being with us. What do we know about the so-called suicide ward?
Yes, Nancy. So according to some reports, Sean Puffy Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Brother Love, has allegedly been placed on suicide watch, and he is being held behind me in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. The suicide watch, as we heard, is usually a standard practice for new inmates as they are being taken into the detention facility. But his lawyers say that...
Put her up. Angelica Martinez, did you actually just say that all new inmates go to the medical ward? Did you say that? Because that's not true. I think it's just Diddy is on the medical ward.
So that is allegedly where Sean Puffy Combs is currently being held, as far as we know. But again, I want to highlight that his attorney said that P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, is strong and healthy and focusing on preparing his defense. So reports are a little mixed on that. But yes, he is currently being held in the MDC, which is right behind me, as we know. And we have a former warden, Cameron Lindsay, who is actually on record as saying that Diddy poses as a very attractive target for other inmates in the MDC, saying, quote, to deliver a hit on him would be considered a badge of honor, end quote. So Diddy is in quite a hairy situation, whether he is on suicide watch or just surrounded by other inmates. Doesn't seem like it'll be going too well for him inside the MDC anytime soon.
Joining me at the MDC Metropolitan.
All right, man. Enough, bro. Enough. Okay. I do want to respond to something real quick, man. Yo, the K-Bots, here's our 5 minutes so y'all can hit record again and make y'all life go on. Because I realize y'all King don't respond to y'all. Drake don't give a fuck about y'all. But Daddy Ack is here to give you some other shit to retweet. So the K-Bots... What's this guy's name again? By the way, this nigga right here is a loser. I think he's on this motherfucker is on what do you call it again? I don't know. He's on some fail show. But I seen him retweet somebody asked me to clarify it. So I'm like, all right, this nigga tweet a lot. If only got fucking paid for it, bum ass nigga. All right, let me just keep going down. God damn it, these niggas tweet a lot. Fuck. Yeah, these niggas is really Twitter niggas. The fuck is this? Anyway, where's that tweet? It was some tweet that, like all the little K-Bots were like running with. I don't know. Where the fuck is it? Oh, is it this? Okay, cool. Yeah, I seen this bum ass nigga talking about, well, will you look at this? Nigga, look at yourself, you dumb ass niggas. Go get some ratings, all right? Okay, here we go. So the K-Bots have now said before OV Hole check cleared, hit his account, Akademiks used to tell the truth about Kendrick versus Drake. Drake, I know classic albums, all Kendrick albums classic. Drake scared of Kendrick. Can't have a ghostwriter be the best, okay? All right, let's watch some of these clips.
I don't think he'll be considered classic. I'm not considering that Drake has any unilateral classics that would be seen by the culture. I don't think he'll be
Okay. Is that the first one? Okay, so let me put this in perspective. If anybody, and this is why I really hate you niggas that like Kendrick with a passion. You niggas are male barbs. I wish you guys would go away. If anybody has watched me for over 15 years of me doing this, and this is the reason why Big Ack is the king, and this is why even to respond to some of you niggas who are in media who I see trying to take the little pot shots, I really got to hike down, but I'm going to do it at times for y'all, okay? If you've watched me from 2010, I've always joked on Drake. But if you've ever heard me talk about my favorite rapper, it's always been Drake. To act like my favorite rapper has never been Drake, or I only start liking Drake, is like crazy. Like I started liking Drake during this battle. Like anyone who would think that, like, oh no, he got the check clear, now he likes Drake. What? Like, does anyone even be like, yo, bro, Ack been fucking with Drake. He been standing Drake for like 10 years straight, bro. Like, come on, bro. Come the fuck on, right? Like, who believes that? Now, here's the thing, and this is why I have to show you how disingenuous the K-Barbs are. When I was on Everyday Struggle, and by the way, Grant, I actually give me the clip. You ain't give me the clip. The full thing. When I was on Everyday Struggle, I'm debating with Joe Budden. And if y'all go watch the full clip, you will see this. I always said, and by the way, times have changed. You see, these days, we could say Finally Rich is a classic. Remember, you got to realize, you see all these little niggas, and I'm calling you media niggas, little niggas, right? All you little niggas who's now trying to make a little career, trying to get a little extra 10 cents out of your AdSense or whatever the fuck you got going on, because you don't got the Maybach and the Lambo outside with the R-rated and then the big-ass $3 million. You ain't got none of this shit. I get it. So, of course, you want to be like Big Ack. I get it. So now it's like you're trying to get. I get it. You know what I mean? Low, whatever you name it, you working it for Apple, running around like you can't call a nigga a hoe when you working for the big boy. Anyway, here's the point. Okay, these little disingenuous. Oh, before the culture changed, and now they're mad that I'm the head of this whole shit. Yeah, I run it now. I'm sorry. I'm the king. Get mad. Okay? I seen this bum ass trying to hate on me and say, I can't be the face of... No, I'm the face. I'm sorry. I run it. Okay? The culture doesn't change on you little... What's that shoe called? Timberland wearing... AOB type of niggas. That shit's over with, nigga. This is the new shit. I used to have to debate hip-hop. And by the way, this all started with Everyday Struggle. The old niggas and the new way of thinking collided. After that, we don't even need Everyday Struggle again because everybody starts sucking off the new guys. Like back then I had to fight for people to realize that Playboi Carti and Lil Uzi and XXXTentacion were like fucking amazing artists. Now, everybody realizes your favorite rapper flops. Carti's selling out arenas. Uzi is a fucking superstar. The nigga who's on your own show, you bum ass nigga, Low Key or whatever your name is, stick to Twitter. The nigga who's on your own show used to play Uzi like he was a bum. Uzi's one of the biggest artists in the culture. So let's go back to this little clip. I used to have to debate with Joe Budden, a guy who, by the way, you know, Joe is absolved from all this. Joe's my guy. And also Joe has realized that there's some errors of his ways too, period. Does it say period? Here's the thing. When I was debating with Joe, I would have to like do a disclaimer. What's a cultural classic? A cultural classic was an album that everybody respected as a cultural classic. For example, you heard, like, niggas used to give the lame ass list. I remember I used to start like, because you know you wanted the respect of these like hip hop elitist niggas. The only thing they considered classics were like, yo, it's Reasonable Doubt, Illmatic, son. Yo, we're talking about Get Rich or Die Trying, yo, son. Yo, you talking about Rakim's album? Bruh, fuck out of here. I remember the first time telling niggas that Love Is Rage was classic, niggas was gonna blow a lid. I remember telling niggas that Chief Keef finally rich. Niggas thought I was speaking gibberish. But look up, 10 years later, it is a classic. And look up, who's the king? Me! The fuck? So again, I think I won. I just want to tell all you media niggas this. I think I won. All of you niggas hated on the newer people that when I was on Everyday Struggle, I would have to make weird caveats like saying, hey, Drake has no cultural classics because you bum ass niggas was hating on Take Care. I always said it's a personal classic because you old niggas who never grew up and still think we're in the 90s. Yo, LL finna drop, son. Good luck, bum. Okay? I used to have to say, oh yeah, this is a personal classic. Fuck out of here. The reality is Drake is the greatest rapper of all time, and everybody now accepts that Take Care is a classic. Even the old ass niggas accept that Take Care is a classic. Back then, even up till 2017, which we did the show, it wasn't accepted culturally. And by the way, culturally, Kendrick's albums were always accepted as classics. Why? He's not singing on half of them. He's just rapping. He's a West Coast nigga who's primarily rapping about cultural shit. It's easily certifiable as a classic. To have the conversation then about complex albums, like for example, when you listen to an album, we don't have to do, like we could go to 17 by X. It would just sound crazy to say it was a classic because the majority of these older niggas that had platforms that kind of mattered, but y'all do look up now, right? You know what all these niggas do? All they got to do is just keep reclipping my stream. You know why? We get more people watching simultaneously than watch their entire broadcast for a week. So I get it. So again, all I'm trying to say is I'm happy that hip-hop changed. It was a changing of the guards. So back then I used to have to do a lot of, well, Drake album is a personal classic. No. It is a classic. Uzi's album, Love Is Rage, one of the greatest albums ever, is a classic. I'm sorry. Get over it. X dropped 2 classics. Chief Keef Finally Rich is the epitome of that conversation. Because people used to just look at Keef as like this guy that didn't... Yo, you remember when like everybody started dick riding Keef after a while? They're like, oh yeah, he is really influential. But you know niggas used to say he was garbage, right? Like straight trash. They used to act like he's Basura. But after a while, they realized he fucking influenced an entire generation. They kind of like allow it. But all I'm trying to say is to everybody who was in that camp, we got you niggas out of there. The niggas who's tweeting all day on Twitter, you're going to have to react to this. We don't look at what you got to say, okay? You niggas, we got out the way, okay? Big Eye came through. Listen, at first, Tupac got that saying. Shout to Pac. At first, I was trying to get in the game. I was like, yo, Ebro, you could give me a meeting? You could. Nah, he was like, fuck out of here, nigga. We don't fuck. I said, all right, cool. I'm just going to kick the door open, and I'm just going to renovate and make my own house. Y'all realize what's going on now, right? I'm number one, just looking at the rest of y'all. That's how it works. So, again, until the point when I become y'all and somebody else is just kicking me out the way, shut the fuck up, okay? I just have to say it. I'm sorry. For you K-bots, Drake's album's a classic, but this wasn't even just how I treated Drake. I did that with Uzi. I did that with other albums of the newer generation that these old gatekeepers in how they were thinking, the culture, everybody quickly said 444 is a classic. But of course, if you had a Future album, it's like, is that a classic? There's no bars on this. Yo, how could Dirty Sprite be a classic? After Future is like the biggest artist in the game, those same niggas are sucking him dry now. Oh yeah, it was a classic. Yeah, it was a nigga back then. Y'all were not saying that. It was a certain section of people saying that. Matter of fact, y'all used to act like it's blasphemous to put Future in. I remember arguing with Nick, one of the most infamous. Well, y'all wouldn't give a fuck. I remember arguing with people about how good Future was, and I remember them bringing up Jay-Z. What the fuck this got to do with Jay-Z? Remember even when Jay-Z, like, the times has just changed, my nigga. That's the thing, okay? So that's the first point. All Kendrick albums are classic. Listen, I'm not no flip-flopper, and I'm not no hater despite the K-bots, okay? Yeah, the K-bars. Good Kid, Mad City, classic. To Pimp a Butterfly, I've always said that's not a replayable album for me. But if I was viewing it in the eyes of a critic, that is actually a classic. It's actually a better album just critically than Good Kid, Mad City. Enjoyably, fuck no. But it's a like you could tell, like if you're a hip hop critic, yes. Now, does anybody play the album? No, but cool. So culture classic, yes. And by the way, I still say it's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic. Untitled, bruv. The nigga dropped an album with a bunch of unnamed songs. Fuck that album. Like, niggas is talking gibberish. What comes after that? Do we get Damn? Damn classic. Damn is a classic. Damn's classic. Mr. Morale, I won't call it a weed plate, but that's that nigga therapy. Like, he had to go vent about his mama being a man or his grandma, somebody being somebody. Okay, I don't know what it is. Whatever the fuck that is, okay? Still, it's not bad. It's just not classic. It's not bad. It's just not classic. Nigga did a therapy album. I'm not into therapy albums, okay? And I really think his thing is the we'll go and be all right type shit. So Kendrick got 3 classics for me. Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly. I think that's the critically acclaimed type of joint. And then we got Damn, right? I could go down the list with Drake. You want to do Drake? Take Care, classic. Nothing Was the Same, classic. We're gonna skip If Your Renus Is Too Late, even though I think it is classic, but that was a tape. Views, I like to believe that Views is classic. Views reminded me of an attempt to recreate his last attempt to recreate Take Care. Okay? More Life, even though I'm gonna still count it, even though Well, I guess I should count If You're Reading This. If You're Reading This is a classic, but it's a tape. But so it's not an album, it's a tape. So we have Take Care, If You're Reading This, both classics. No, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, classics. Nothing Was the Same, low-key, might be his best album, even though Take Care has a special place in my heart. If You're Reading This, classic. Views, I think Views is a classic. I think one of the skits me and Joe did, I think we were arguing, Life to Promo, Everyday Struggle was arguing Views versus More Life. More Life to me ain't a classic. Like, I'm sorry, just too much other niggas. Too many of them niggas on the album. Too many. Like, I was spoiled at that time. Drake albums used to just be Drake. Drake didn't have like 5 niggas feet. When I looked, that was the first time I looked up, I said, Young Thug? What the fuck is Young Thug doing on this guy? And by the way, Young Thug is a legendary artist. But I look at him, Young Thug? You know what I'm saying? Now, cool. What else? What happens after that? Scorpion. Scorpion to me is a classic. I don't know which fingers I'm at yet with the classic, but Scorpion to me is I love Scorpion, honestly. After Scorpion, we get CLB. Scorpion CLB. Really good. It's Dick Ryan if I say everything a classic. It's really good, but nah, I wouldn't call that classic. After CLB, we get Honestly Nevermind. That's not even a hip hop album. After that, we get Her Loss. Honestly, I don't think that's if I'm comparing that to collab albums, I don't think that's a classic collab album. And I think we might have to say that I prefer What a Time to Be Alive. By the way, I skipped What a Time to Be Alive. Damn, Drake dropped a lot of fucking projects. I skipped What a Time to Be Alive, but Her Loss isn't a classic. Good, but not a classic. What a Time to Be Alive? I think it is. Or maybe it's just age, like appreciated with time, given what's happened since and given the run that Future was on. Let me see what happens after that. Then For All the Dogs, I think good, not a classic. So me, if you ask me, Drake's last classic is not For All the Dogs. I think Scorpion. Like classic, yeah. Scorpion. Yeah, CLB pretty good. Honestly Nevermind, not a hip hop. Dark Lane Demos, it was a mixtape, but still not classic. Yeah, so that's 2018. So like, you know, like these K-bots be having these like weird ass like thing going on. Listen, I still am gonna criticize Drake. Like I think Drake has, like from a quintessential classic, he's a few years removed from dropping that. I really don't think that, like For All the Dogs it's a good album. I don't think none of these albums are trash, but I don't think they're classic. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. What's the next one? Drake is scared of Kendrick. Yeah. At that moment, I definitely believed it. You know what the fuck? Kendrick name dropped him on Control. Drake did not respond on a direct song. What happened next? The whole little tuck the sensitive rapper back at like, now granted, we heard later Drake basically saying that, yo, I'm asking this nigga if it's smoke. He's saying it's not smoke. So like, bro, like, well, should I just fire on a nigga? All right, whatever, it don't matter. Yeah, at that time, it looks like Kendrick is taking obvious shots at Drake, and Drake ain't really saying squabble up. Now, clearly, and by the way, I could change my fucking opinion. Clearly, when we get to 2023 or 2024, this year. So when we get to this year, Drake's like, at least initially, right, before the battle starts, yo, what's up? Let's get it on. But before, I definitely thought that I was like, yo, I think Drake is smart. You know, this nigga Kendrick is a little bit cloud chasing, but he's a little bit more shrewder than these other guys. So I don't give a fuck about saying that. I did think that Drake was a little bit scared of Kendrick until he said, "What's up, nigga? Drop." Yeah. And then the last one, you can't have a ghostwriter and be the best. Well, it depends on what we're talking about. I did say Drake isn't we created 3 lists. I have a best artist list, I have a best rapper list, and then I have a best MC list. I don't think if your best work is written by another person, you can't be on the MC list. Now, Drake is on my MC list because the majority of the works that would qualify him to be on there are these timestamp records, which we've never heard a reference track for. Yes. So, and by the way, and even then, I have Kendrick higher on my MC list than Drake. That's a fact. I have Drake as the best rapper ever. On my rapper list, I made this list already. Like, this shit's public. Drake's number one on my best rapper list ever. Kanye's number one on my best artists ever. So Kanye best artist ever. Drake best rapper ever. I think I had Nas. Did I have Nas as best MC ever? I forgot if it was Nas. Kendrick was in the top 5 though. To me, Kendrick wasn't in my top 5 artists or top 5 rappers of all time. But he was the top 5 MC in my list. And again, y'all niggas can have your own list. But I see y'all K-Bots reaching for straws. You get what I'm saying? Y'all niggas reaching for straws. So, yeah, try again. And to that bum ass nigga, stay your stupid ass over at Apple, nigga, and get the pennies, nigga. Get y'all views up, nigga. Shout out to the desk, I love you. But yeah, nigga, please, nigga, you haven't had an opinion in hip hop that I've cared to react to. Please, I don't give 2 fucks about what you think about me. I just like to let that be known, okay? Mr. Unknown, you haven't had one opinion, one contribution, one thing that I'm like, damn, can't wait to get on stream today to talk about what this fuck nigga said. That alone, to me, crystallizes how much I give a fuck about you and probably your importance to whatever you think you're doing all fucking day.
Everyone knows every time Diddy's name comes up in something, it's always some freaky issue by the sea, man. Now, in what's new, you feel me? Now, new information's coming out. Diddy lost a lawsuit where he essentially owes $100-something million. That person, I'm not gonna lie, bro, you're never seeing that money. It's sad to say. You're never ever seeing that money ever. Yeah. It's the diddler. You're never seeing that money. Got some of the best lawyers in the world. He's a billionaire. Still, supposedly. You feel me? He's liquidating his assets now. Selling houses and doing all that. But bro, you're not seeing any money. Like, Diddy's, the only reason he won the case because Diddy just never went to court. That's it. But it's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how you guys feel about everything. And I'm out.